Hi, Christina. That's great. Nice, gentle class. Really, just move your body. My husband and I just did a class this morning. It was so nice to get him on the mat. And, a lot of, things that maybe he couldn't do, but he also did the best he could. And it's really about moving our bodies and feeling good. So, enjoy, right? This is the moment. This is the only moment we have. So try and find as much enjoyment to allow our bodies to move more gracefully, more easily. So we modify, we add on if we want more. So it's all good. Good morning, Janine. Nice to see you. Yeah, if you're out there, whether you're taking the class or just watching, check in, say hello. Makes me smile to know you're out there. And we're gonna get going. Beautiful. Great. So this morning I was able to take a class with my teacher, Sandra Loring from Sadhana up in Hudson. If you are looking for other classes, she is wonderful. All of the teachers are wonderful, and they offer many classes on Zoom throughout the week. So she's lovely. So it was so nice to regroup with her. And as many of you know, I love poetry. I love to bring poetry into my classes. And that was a gift given to me by Sandra, my teacher. So it's just been so lovely to allow myself to incorporate that. I've written poetry over the years when inspired, so it's nice to share words with you that mean something to me. So this morning, when I attended Sandra's 9 a.m. class, she read a wonderful poem, and I'm going to share it with you today. The poem is by James Baldwin. So as we get settled this morning, just find your seat, whatever that is for you. You might sit up onto a stack of blankets if you want a little more height, especially if you're tight in your lower back and hip. Most importantly in this Sunday practice, to enjoy, make it all about you, right? So moving the body to a place that feels comfortable and good for where you're at, meeting ourselves where we're at. So here's this poem. One discovers the light in the darkness. That is what darkness is for. But everything in our lives depends on how we bear the light. It is necessary, while in the darkness, to know that there is light somewhere. To know that in oneself, waiting to be found, there is a light. What that light reveals is danger, and what it demands is faith. This is why one must always say yes to life and embrace it whenever it is found. And it is found in terrible places. Nevertheless, there it is. For nothing is fixed forever and forever and forever. It is not fixed. The earth is always shifting. The light is always changing. And the sea does not cease to grind down a rock. Generations do not cease to be born. And we are responsible to them because we are the whole only witness they have. The sea rises, the light fails, lovers cling to each other, and children cling to us. The moment we cease to hold each other, the moment we break faith with one another, the sea engulfs us and the light goes out. So as we drop into our seat this morning, I'm just taking in the words. And if you've practiced with me, You know that I'm often talking about this light and this love that is inside of us, and endlessly trying to share that to you. That this beautiful light is always there, and then sometimes we just kind of move away from it, right? The hardship of life takes us away from it, or that mental mind takes us away from it, that monkey mind. And if we can pause and just hold like this sort of morsel, this sweetness in our hands, this light, this moment, and embrace it, right? As we embrace each other, as we embrace each day, we might be able to feel a little bit more whole, a little bit more connected. And through this practice of yoga here on our mats together, we work at that, we work towards that, and then hopefully take it with us out into the world. So just soften the shoulders down, away from the ears, sit a little bit taller here, kind of move a little bit, as I love to say, kind of nuzzle into your practice. So nuzzle into your body, let the neck be long, let the belly button lift in and up. Soften that armor of your face, your eyebrows, your temples, your eyelids. Relax the cheeks. And let that jaw soften. And you might even take that tongue and just moisten the lips, right? Just moisten them. And then softly just let them close gently. And just notice how you can be more at ease, a little bit more soft. And come into that breath, this inhale and this exhale of the breath. And just feel the smoothness of the breath as it rises up. The inhale allowing us to reach a little bit taller. The exhale staying into that and letting us root down. That inhale. And that beautiful exhale. And just find this nice fluid breath. Let the spine stay long as you exhale. And just a few more rounds here. Just feel the breath. It's soft, and yet it lets us be tall and strong into this seated version of mountain pose. Just a few more rounds following your breath, just feeling it as it expands and reaches into your body, filling up the front and the back. The exhales, releasing out, letting go of that which doesn't serve us. A few more rounds. Smiling at the breath as you can feel it entering your body, expanding you and releasing you. One more breath. Beautiful. And then from here, just bring these palms together, Anjali Mudra. As you bring the palms to your heart space, bow the head down. And again, kind of entering into that space of light, right? And that poem, just remembering that sometimes the darkness that you might feel and you might need to kind of walk through is a place of bringing us out into the light, right? So don't give up. Just soften. Root yourself, all is well. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to take and come right into a twist. So that right hand's going to come to the left knee. Left hand's going to come behind us. Softly place the fingertips down. Take an inhale and grow nice and long. And then begin to twist at the waist, at the ribs, at the chest, at the shoulders. Into this nice twist to the left. And just feel it, right? Let the shoulders melt. Don't force it. Let the hips release. Good. 2 more breaths. The inhales, we grow long. And the exhales, let us take that twist. 1 more twist. Beautiful. And then very slowly to unravel, coming back through to neutral. That left hand finds that right knee, and that right hand just kind of places softly behind you and grow nice and long. Draw the belly in and then begin to twist the other way, twisting to the right. And that twist comes starting at the waist, then the ribs, then the chest, and then let those shoulders and gaze follow. So nothing forceful. Shoulders melt away from the ears. Take another breath, inhale, and that exhale. One more. Beautiful. And then slowly coming back through to center. And we're going to take this right leg and we're going to take it out to the side. And the toes are facing up to the sky. And this left leg or foot to the inner thigh, right? And you can also place a block or a blanket underneath this left knee. I want you to sit tall and then just bring the hands down in front of you. And just explore. We're exploring the waist, the lower back, a little bit of that energy behind that right leg. No rush, just walk it out a little bit. Let the head go. And as you rock side to side, notice again, you might feel this into the hips. As I rock to the right, there's a nice deep kind of stretch coming into my left hip. You might walk out a little bit further. Take your breath. And then from here, we're going to walk these hands over to the left. So kind of either side of that left knee, but nothing forced. And then we're just going to let that right hip kind of come off the earth a little bit. So kind of taking it off and then just kind of bowing down over that left knee. Let the head go. Explore. And then tuck the chin and just roll yourself back up a little bit, lengthening the arms. Gaze goes back out in front. And then again, just let yourself melt here. Draw the belly in, tuck the chin. And one more, just flowing with your body, nothing right, nothing wrong. And then lifting back up. Good. Now from here, we're going to take and keep that left hand onto the earth and take this right hand up to the sky. So that right sit bone, see if you can drop it back down to the earth. Open up that chest and just explore here. That energy of the heart space lifting, that belly lifting in and up, and that kind of energy fingertip to fingertips as you open up that heart. One more breath. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to take this right hand that's going to come down onto the earth alongside us. And this left hand sweeps up and over to the side, right? Not over that leg, but to the side. There's that nice big stretch. Take your breath for 2. Staying again for 1. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to take both hands. They're going to come down. Love it. And we're going to switch legs. So we're going to take that left leg out to the side. That right foot comes to the inside. You can always slide that some support under that knee if you like. Sit nice and tall. Just notice how that feels. Left toes to the sky and then place the hands down. And again, it doesn't need to be deep. You can walk out a little bit. Try not to force any kind of into one place. We have that tendency to just reach into one place, usually the leg here. But see if you can rock a little bit, breathe into the lower back, let the head go. You might walk out a little bit more. Good. And just notice, for me, as I rock to the left a little bit, I feel that nice, really juicy stretch into that right hip. Feels good. One more breath here, maybe an inhale, maybe you walk back out a little bit more with that exhale. And then slowly walking the hands over to the right. Yeah, so they're kind of either side of that right knee. And then from here, let that left hip kind of roll up a little bit. And as you do, just let yourself melt down over that right knee. Let the head go. Draw the belly in and just roll yourself up. The gaze goes out in front. And then again, bend the elbows and just let yourself melt here. Tuck the chin, draw the belly in and roll yourself up. Good. One more. Tuck the chin, draw the belly in, and just roll yourself up. Now from here, that left sit bone or hip comes back down onto the earth, and this right arm reaches up to the sky. So get that nice stretch, fingertips to fingertips, and just breathe into it. Opening up. Just explore these shapes. Feel the heart opening. Gaze might be up or down, doesn't matter. One more breath. Good, now lift the navel in and up. This left hand comes down onto the earth. This right hand sweeps up and over. So we come into a side stretch. You're gonna feel this a little bit more deeply, right? Into that right side of the body. Take your breath. And again. Beautiful. Now from here, this top arm is going to come back down. Both hands are down onto the earth. And we're going to take these legs and we're going to take both out to the side. Nice big V. Don't force it. And you can always sit up onto a blanket. Rock the sit bones a little bit. And then bring the hands, both hands down onto the earth. And this is where, if you like, you can also bring a block in, stay a little bit higher. And remember, let the whole body breathe today, right? So you might feel this more deeply into the inner legs. Try and maybe not go so deep and let the lower back, spine, hips feel it as well, right? So let the whole body experience the shape, the pose. You can walk out a little bit more again. It's always up to you how deeply you like to go. Leave the force, leave the judgment behind you and just be, right? Be in this present moment with the light, with the goodness. Good. One more breath here. Good. Now, from here, we're going to walk the hands back up, keep the legs wide, and we're going to take this left hand down onto the earth, and this right hand's going to sweep up. Take your time. That right hip lifts up a little bit. Flex the feet. They turn slightly. Lift the belly. And then come back down, and we're going to take that to the other side. So right hand comes alongside. This left hip can lift up a little bit. Arm reaches long. Yeah, a little active into the inner thighs. And then one more time each side. So that left hand comes down. That right hip can lift a little bit just to get some nice movement. Flex through the feet. And then one more time to the other side. Good. Nice. Perfect. And then from here, coming back through to neutral. And we're going to take these legs, we're going to come into Baddha Konasana. Should feel good after that nice wide open leg. Soles of the feet come together. Sit nice and tall here and really connect the toes, the balls of the feet, the heels of the feet, and find that space to sit tall and just make some gentle butterfly motions of the knees. So loosening up these hips. Good, inner thighs. Beautiful, one more breath here. And then from here, find a nice inhale to grow long, and we're gonna exhale and fold over these feet. Go as deeply as you like. You can either wrap the hands around the toes, keep them at the ankles, yogi toe lock. Really, all of this is your choice. I like the yogi toe lock, kind of helping me draw in. Maybe the elbows come to the inner calves. Try and get the belly button lifting in and up and melt into it. Should feel good. Breathing here. And again, just notice where you can let go. Instead of yanking and pulling yourself into the pose, let yourself melt into it a little bit more. Taking a few more breaths here. Two more breaths. Good. One more breath. That nice exhale, make it out through the mouth. Feels good. Slowly just begin to bring yourself back up. We're going to do one more sequence here seated. So we're going to take the knees and we're going to bring them together. I'm going to take mine over to the left. And then however you like, you can have the feet stacked and the knees stacked, or you might open it up a little bit. Just really kind of depends on your knees and your hips. And we're going to sit nice and tall, and we're going to just take an open open twist. So we're kind of twisting to the left, and you should feel that heart opening, belly drawing in and up. Should feel nice. Good. And then from here, we're going to take a little twist to the right, and the gaze can go over the feet a little bit or over that right shoulder. Good. And then from here, draw the belly in. We're going to come back. Just nice movement and loosening up the spine. And then again, draw the navel in, twisting back towards the right. Gaze can be down towards the feet or over that right shoulder. Good. One more as we twist, opening up, belly draws in and up, heart opens, feel the lower back opening, and this time again back to the right. And then if you like, you can take it deeper. That left hand might kind of slide onto that thigh. That right hand can come behind or not, right? Or just stay with the hands here, gaze over. Remember, this is for all levels, so really the important thing about that is making it yours. Good. One more breath here. There's the core lifting you up. Nice stretch into the waist and back of the body. And then as you softly release, hands can come behind you. And then slowly just take the knees the opposite direction. So just find that setup. Again, feet can be stacked or a little bit more open, really protecting and honoring your knees. Sit nice and tall. And then just begin to take that twist, the twist to the right. Notice the lower back. Draw the belly in and up. Open up the heart at the top. And take your breath. Just settle into it. Let your body feel what's happening. And again, not the force of it, but the connection to the body. One more breath here. Beautiful. And then slowly just take the gaze over that left shoulder. So there's a little bit of a twist here that happens. Don't force it. Don't feel like you're doing it wrong. Just kind of loosening up the lower back. And then we're coming back to the twist to the right. And then moving again as we twist back to the left. Belly draws in, heart opens. And one more like that. Twisting back to the right. And then back to the left. And then staying here, you can stay as you are here, gaze over the shoulder or down towards the feet. If you feel like it's right for your body and you want to take it deeper, that left hand can come slightly behind you. This right hand might kind of clasp onto your thighs. This is my really tight side, so I'm just working with that, no right or wrong. And then taking this kind of counter twist. Take your breath wherever you are, if you're taking it deeper or staying a little bit more easeful with it. One more breath. Love it. And then slowly, we're going to release. And we're going to take and bring the hands behind us, fingertips facing forward. Feet are a little bit wider. And then just kind of rocking the knees, these windshield wipers, to the left or the right, doesn't matter. And then just let that torso open in the opposite direction. So feeding that heart space, opening yourself up to the light. And then slowly draw the belly in, coming back through to center, taking the knees the opposite direction, and lifting the chest and gaze moves the opposite direction of the knees. Pause there. Open up the heart space. Take another breath. Beautiful. And then with one count, so just knees to the opposite direction, chest moves away, and then back through center. Good. And one more time, each side. Good. And the opposite. Good. Love it. So really a nice bunch of work onto the shoulders, the chest, the hips, the lower back. We're going to make our way tabletop, hands and knees position. Good. So as you find your way there, if you'd like cushion underneath your knees, please do that. Bring a blanket or something underneath. Spreading the hands here. And then just starting bringing the tops of the feet down onto the earth. Zip up the inner thighs, draw the belly in. So not force, but just that connection. And then just take the gaze round over to your right shoulder as if you're kind of taking a gaze to those right toes or foot. And just breathe into that left hip. One more breath there. Belly draws in. Left hip to the left, gaze to the right. And then slow, draw the core in, taking it the opposite direction. Taking the gaze over the left shoulder, kind of reaching around to find that left foot. And the hips, the right side of the hips go to the right. Take a breath. And again. And then slowly coming back through to center. And then just move a little bit here. So just explore movement. Loosening up the lower back today. The hips. Really nice. And then coming back here into cow pose as we curl the toes under, lift the chest. Getting some nice stretch into those feet here. And then from here, just sit back into it a little bit so it can be as deep as you like. We're really just kind of stretching the soles of the feet. You can even bring your forearms down onto the earth. You can even sit up onto the heels, watch your knees, right? So all those different modifications, make it about you. We're just stretching the feet, opening up the heart, relaxing the shoulders. Breathing. Wherever you are, 3 more breaths. 2. Beautiful, and 1. And if you're sitting up onto your heels, walk the hands back out. Good, now release the toes. We're gonna round the spine into cat, so getting that nice rounded spine, hollowing out that belly. And you can nod the chin up or down, or right to left, breathing into the shoulder blades. 1 more breath. And then from here, coming back, we're going to take that neutral spine. We're going to take this right leg behind us, curl the toes under, crown of head to heel of foot. Find that nice energy there and just a little rocking back and forth. Again, opening up the foot, but also you might find as you sit back into it, right, that nice stretch up the back of the calf, the muscles of the arms working. Take your breath here. 1 more breath. Beautiful. And then from here, just kind of moving forward so the shoulders are back over the wrists. We're going to lift this right leg up. We're going to bend that right knee. Start here, draw the belly in and circle that right ankle one direction. Stay kind of controlled here. Yeah. And then opposite direction. Beautiful. From here, we're going to take this right leg, we're going to reach it long again. Focus. So you can keep that leg lifted or bring the toes down for some extra stability. Whatever it is for you, begin to play with taking that left arm out in front. If you like, you can find that Gyan Mudra, index finger and thumb connection, focusing. Take your breath. So again, foot can be down or lifted for 3, 2, beautiful, stay for the 1, and then that hand comes down, that foot comes down, and knee comes down. And we're going to sit back towards a child pose. Knees can come a little bit wider if you like. And again, if you have knees that bother you, stay a little bit higher, right? Don't go so deep. Just modify, modify, modify so you can feel good about your practice, meeting yourself where you are. Good. 1 more breath here. Perfect. And then from here, coming back up, hands and knees. Knees come back underneath the hips. And from here, we're going to take that left leg out behind us, crown of head to heel of foot. We're going to bend this left knee and just circle that ankle and draw the belly in. Just nice and controlled here. We're not collapsing into the hips. Nice energy and connection. Switch direction on that foot. Perfect. Good. And then extend that leg long, bring the toes down, and then sit back into it. So a nice little kind of crown of head, Heel of foot rocking, and each time you kind of sit back, you're going to feel that nice stretch into the foot, up the calf. You might even pause there. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to take those options as we come into this balance. So maybe that left leg lifts or the leg stays down with the toes curled under. We're going to take that right arm out in front. So wherever it is for you, find what's right. Challenge yourself just that right amount. If you're not in the mood to be challenged today, then find that place of ease. Beautiful. 3, 2, find that 1. Beautiful. Hand comes down, knee comes down, and then again, knees can come wide as we reach back into our version of child's pose. Let the hips rock a little bit. You can stay higher. Just let that belly chest melt to the earth, or again, be a little bit higher. Good. Breathing in and out. One more breath here. And then slowly coming back up to tabletop. We're going to move into a downward dog. So if you're not doing downward dogs, then maybe find a puppy dog, something like this, a little higher. Or you can always slide blocks under the hands and move into that downward dog. Whatever it is for you, modify, shift it, move around. So as you pedal the feet, you're lifting the belly in and up, spreading the sit bones behind you. And just let the head move and just let yourself kind of dip into one heel and then dip into the other. And if you're in that child or that puppy dog pose, same thing. Just let your hips rock a little bit, side to side. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. And if you're in that downward dog, we're going to bring our knees down to the earth for all of us. And we're going to take this right leg and we're going to step it through between the hands. So I'm just going to turn a little bit so you can see. So setting it up as we come into this lunge, this right foot is forward and this knee bends. So again, it becomes up to you if you want to slide some blocks in. I'm going to use mine, or books or cans of soup. And then just lean forward a little bit. Should feel good. Opening up that heart space, kind of dipping into this, right? But not collapsing. See if you can stay long in the spine. Heart is open. Shoulders melt away from the ears. Take your breath for 2. And stay for that 1. Perfect. And then from here, nice and slow, we're going to take this leg and we're going to extend it long. So this really becomes your practice here. If you want to take it further and kind of move a little deeper into a split, you can. If you want to stay a little higher, you can. That knee's bent a little bit. It's also good. It's a nice opportunity to kind of take your practice, learn from it, make it yours. I like to even kind of rock my tail a little bit, side to side. And then finding that stillness. So wherever you are, we're going to take about 5 breaths. I'm going to go a little deeper just because that's where I'm working. I'm going to slide a block underneath my right sit bone. Yeah, and just take it into a little bit more of this Hanumanasana version, right? I'm just taking 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then wherever you are, just kind of sliding that right foot back onto the earth. And we're going to take the hands, bring them to the top of that right knee, lifting our chest up. Shoulders over the hips, right? Gaze out in front. Take a breath there, open up that heart space. And then from here, take that left arm up to the sky. So I want you to take and tuck the tail a little bit under, feel that into the left hip. Take that left arm to the sky and then cross it over to the outside of that right knee. Right hand finds that hip, and we're going to take a little twist here. So again, it can be as deep as you need it to be, but remember, waist, ribs, chest, shoulders. If you like, you can always take that back arm, open it up. It's up to you. Again, all these different versions. Don't judge it. One more breath. Perfect. Now slowly we want to unravel. Bring the hands back down to the blocks. And we're going to take this right foot. We're going to slide it back. And here's that option. You can slide back to a dog, downward facing dog, or into a child. You can stay in the dog or child, or you might come through a flow. So we just kind of add all of these levels in. Coming through a flow, your knees can always come down. Or you can stay in that solid plank, lowering chest and chin or whole body. And then peel yourself off the earth, moving into that Cobra Bhujangasana. And then exhale, all of us melt back towards the child or puppy dog, meeting you there. Taking 2 breaths here, whatever it is for you. One more breath. And then we slide back up, hands and knees, tabletop position. And from here, coming to the other side. So we're going to take that left leg, that left foot, step it through. And I have the blocks. I love working with the blocks or books or cans of soup. And this lunge, we're just leaning in a little bit, kind of opening up that space in front of the body, lifting the chest, and just pausing, feeling the sweetness of this practice, not the force. Good. One more breath. And then slow. We're going to take this left leg and we're going to begin to extend it long, right? So we're coming into that half Hanumanasana, and I always offer here, if you'd like to take it deeper, you can. Not forceful. We don't need any injuries. Nice kind of gentle practice here. Make it yours. I'm taking about 5 breaths wherever you are. Two more breaths. One more breath. And then slowly, we're going to slide that left foot back down onto the earth, coming back to that lunge. Really nice. Lift the chest. And then take the hands to the top of that left knee and shoulders stack over the hips. Tail tucks under a little bit. You get that energy into that right hip flexor. And then take this right arm up to the sky. Feel that nice length there. Belly draws in and up. And then from here, right hand crosses over to the outside of that left knee. Left hand comes to the waist. And remember, this twist begins at kind of the navel. Then you twist the ribs, then the chest, then the shoulders. And if you like, you can always take that back arm out, taking it a little deeper. Or keep that hand on the waist. One more breath here. Beautiful. And then slowly coming out of this. Good. Now we're going to take the hands, bring them back down to the blocks. But instead of stepping back, we're going to take and lift this right knee up. So we're in that lunge. And we're going to walk the hands around and come into this nice wide stance here. So find it for you. Shift your feet. Again, you can have the blocks or not. We're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders, crown of head so the front tail reaches behind. Lift the inner thighs. Take a nice inhale here. And then exhale. Make it yours as you melt forward. Let yourself go. Maybe a little bit of movement as we repeat this lovely shape, this kind of upside down V shape. Good. Breathing in, breathing out. Let yourself be in this shape. Modify it where you need. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Good. Now from here, we're going to take and walk the hands over to the left a little bit, turning those left toes out a little bit. And this left knee bends, kind of tracking over that ankle. And just take a breath there. And just feel a nice kind of lunge. You can always take it further, kind of dipping into it, a little bit of that lizard shape, or just stay a little softer here. 1 more breath. And then slowly walking back through to center. Those left toes turn in as we walk to the right toes turn out. Same thing, just kind of explore it, make it yours. Again, hands can be on blocks. If you want to take it a little bit further into that lizard, then do. All is well, right? So don't force these shapes, make them yours. Good, 1 more breath. And then slowly coming back through to center, turning the toes to face parallel to one another, the feet. Soften the knees a little bit, bring the hands to the hips, draw the belly in, slowly come up, watch the blood moving through your body, right? So don't get too dizzy. Take a pause. Yeah, settle. Good. Now, from here, we're going to take these arms out towards a T. Yeah, so nice kind of warrior 2 arms. Feel that space. And then we're going to take those left toes and we're going to turn them out. So we're in that warrior 2. So again, long stance. If you need to adjust your feet and bring them closer together, then surely do. Take your breath here. 1 more. And then from here, this front leg, we're going to lengthen it. We're just going to move into triangle pose, Trikonasana. But keep it soft, right? So don't dump all the weight into that bottom hand, that left hand. Just let it gently connect to that thigh. You can always go deeper, but really keep a nice stacked hip, stacked shoulders. And this top hand, if your shoulders are tight and it's too much, just bring it into your lower back or to your waist. Lift the pelvic floor. And feel the energy into the ball of that front foot, right? So we're kind of pushing into the front of that foot. It helps you lift the pelvic floor. 1 more breath. And then slowly, we're going to come back up. That front knee bends. Arms come back to that warrior 2 arm. And we're going to reverse it. Back hand to that back thigh. Front palm turns up. And then just reverse. Arm to the sky. Belly draws in and up. Stay strong in the legs, but let this stretch reach into that whole left side of your body. Good. 2 more breaths. Should feel nice. 1 more breath. And then slowly coming back to that warrior 2. We're going to take and turn these back toes in and coming to the other side. Front toes turn out and we revisit that warrior 2. And again, if your stance feels too long, then adjust it, right? We don't need to be into some crazy shape here. We just want to feel connected. Opening up. Good. 1 more breath here. Love it. And then this front leg begins to lengthen. Lift the pelvic floor. And on that front foot, that right foot, see if you can kind of push down into the ball of the foot. You'll notice that it's almost like you're lifting your heel, but you're not. And that energy kind of lifts you out of the hips so we're not collapsed there. Shift forward a little bit and just move into Trikonasana, your version. Again, try not to dump into that bottom hand, but connect. So maybe it's not as deep as you might feel you need to go, but just feel the core, the length, the heart opening. Good. Maybe you go deeper, that's up to you. Arm can always come down, waist or lower back. 1 more breath. Beautiful. And then slowly we come up That front knee bends, arms come back towards that warrior two, and we're just going to reverse it. So that back hand finds the thigh, front palm turns up, and take this reverse warrior. And again, maybe you take it really deep, that's up to you. I really just want you to stay in that place of ease. Shoulders and hips, there's alignment here. We're not dumping into our lower back. We're reaching over that back leg. Beautiful, one more breath. And then slowly we come back up to that warrior two. Gaze out and over front. And then we're going to take this front foot, turn it in, so we're back where we started here. Take a nice inhale, reach the arms to the sky, hook the thumbs here, exhale over to the right. Again, breathing into the hips, gaze can be down or up. Take another breath. And then slowly coming back through, nice long spine, switch the hook of the thumbs. Take this over to the other side, over to the left. Just get that nice stretch into the hips. Lift the core to support it. Pull it back through center, long spine, and then soften the knees, fold forward, Uttanasana, into a wide stance, forward fold. From here, turn the front toes out, coming back, we're back into that lunge. And from here, gaze goes forward, step forward. One big step or lots of little steps. First, standing forward fold. Hands to the thighs or the shins and lengthen a little bit more. Take a beautiful breath. And then melt in, right? So as we pause here, maybe you take opposite elbows. Maybe even the hands come behind the neck. And just feel the space up the back of the legs, but also let it travel through the whole body, the lower back, the spine, the neck. So we're not just landing into one place. One more breath here. Beautiful. Let the hands release down to the earth. Soften the knees, draw the belly in and up, and sweep all the way out and up to the sky. Palms together at the top, and then hands come to your heart space, back into your heart center. Bowing down again, trying to move into the light. Even when we're struggling with life and darkness, which is a part of our growth, right? Just be aware that the light, the goodness is there inside of us. Just keep moving towards it. And from here, just one little standing motion. And taking the arms up to the sky. We're going to take this right leg and we're going to just step it behind us. So crossing it a little bit behind us. And then we're going to take this, you're going to take hold of that right wrist with the left hand. And you're going to just come into a nice side stretch. Draw the belly in. Find that balance. One more breath. And then slowly coming back up. Arms can come down, uncross the feet. And again, arms up, that left foot or switching directions. I got my right and left mixed up. And then take it over. So breathing into that whole edge of the body for 2. And 1. And then slowly coming back through. Let the hands come down, uncross those legs, and back, standing at the front of your mat. Take a nice inhale, sweep the arms up as we bring this down. Soften the knees, exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Half lift, lengthen, make it yours. And then plant the hands. You can step back, downward dog. You can come into a child's pose. You can hang out in downward dog, or you might come through a little flow here. Coming through plank, knees can always come down, or lowering as you like. Make it yours. Meeting back into that dog or sliding into the child. And we're going to take 3 breaths wherever you are. Find stillness now. Really drop in deeply. Try not to be reactive, but just feel as you melt in. One more breath. And then if you're in that dog, bring the knees down to the earth. Good. Just slide into your child, meeting each other in that child's pose. Maybe the arms wrap around and you kind of roll up into this little ball of child's pose. Good. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Beautiful. And then bring the hands back down. We're going to make our way over onto our backs. And I encourage, if you have that blanket or towel, have it close by. And as we lay down onto our back, should feel really sweet and good. We're going to take the feet a little bit wider. Yeah, so maybe even to the edge of the mat, depending on your size. And just take and rock these knees a little bit side to side. We're going to come into a twist. This is a twist that I love, with the feet wider, kind of opening up those hip flexors. So the next time you head with your knees rocking over to the right, let them come down. And I'm going to slide that blanket underneath that bottom knee. So knees come down, feet are a little bit wider, that shape we found earlier. Let the arms open to a T. Knees to the right, gaze can be to the left, as long as that feels good to you. And maybe that Gyan Mudra, index finger and thumb, heart opens. Just let that whole shape take your body. Heart opening, softness. And just feel where you can let go. And just be in the goodness of this shape. Good. 2 more breaths like this. If you like, you can just open the feet a little bit more. It's up to you. Taking 2 more breaths, just letting that top knee and hip release. Beautiful. And then very slowly just kind of walking the feet a little bit closer together, and then bringing the knees back up. And that spine, kind of balancing it back into neutral. If you used a blanket or a block, bring it to the other side. And then just as you rock a little bit here, begin to slowly take the knees over to the left. Feet are wide again, so the wider the feet, you're going to feel this yumminess into that right hip. And open the arms to a T and take the gaze over to the right. So knees to the left, gaze to the right. Breathing in, breathing out. And you can stay here if you want to deepen it. Just walk that right foot over a little bit. The stance becomes a little bit, the separation of the feet becomes a little bit wider. And then let that top knee kind of relax, that hip relax for 2. And for 1. It should feel good. And then slowly walking the feet a little closer together, and then bringing the knees back up towards the sky. Love it. Now, you have this stack of a towel or a blanket. We're going to lift ourselves up, and we're going to slide that underneath, basically at the base of that tail. So you have the spine, and then the tail kind of underneath there, right? The sacrum area. And then from here, draw the knees into the chest, give them a hug. So with that support under the lower back, it should feel good. There's like a natural tilt, and it's supported with the blanket or the towel. It should feel nice. 1 more breath. Good. Now, from here, a couple little options. You can cross these knees, sort of knee over knee or thigh over thigh, and then draw the knees in there. Now that's one option. Or you might take and kind of lift the head and find opposite ankles here a little bit, really in kind of connecting the inner thighs. Let the head then come back down. This is that kind of deep shoelace pose. So again, hands can be onto those ankles as the feet kind of open out to the side, or draw them in from the knees. You'll notice, again, big stretch into the right hip. And take your breath, relax the neck. For 2. And stay for the 1. Beautiful. And then slowly unraveling those legs. Take a just hug in for a second. And then crossing that left thigh or knee over knee. And you might stay there and just draw the knees in, giving them a hug. You're still going to get a juicy stretch into that left hip. Or you might find you lift your head, kind of finding those ankles, nice kind of tight connection to the inner thighs. And then let that head roll back down. Big stretch either way. And just breathe. Good. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. And then slowly from here, unraveling, drawing the knees back into your chest. Good. And then option here, just to take the legs to the sky, a nice inversion. And with that support underneath your lower back, that sort of sacrum area, shouldn't feel stressful. It should just feel kind of nice as the blood flows from your feet, down your legs, and then back to your heart. And just allow yourself to be here, right? If this feels too much, then just bring the feet down to the earth or hug them into your chest. We're going to take about 5 breaths here. Just follow the breath. Beautiful. 1 more breath. And then bring the knees back into the chest. Give them that hug. Should feel good. If there's any other shape you'd like to take, then feel free to do that. Soles of the feet come down onto the earth. We're going to just slide that blanket out from under our lower back. And if you like, you can even take and slide it under your head if that feels nice, right? Multiple use. And then taking these legs, you can slide them long. Yeah. Let the hips roll out. Find that space into the lower back and shoulder blades. And exhale. And just let yourself be here into the space of Shavasana. Noticing how your body feels from the practice today. And then let it all go. Right? Let yourself just drop into this earth. In this poem, this space of light that is, it's around us, but also there is that darkness at times, and allowing that darkness to not fear it, but allowing us to move through it as gracefully as we can, with as much love as we love each other and hold each other, and let those children reach out to us as we love them too. Just let go. Your body be embraced by this earth, right? Supported by all that is there around us, this nature, this the love of those that we adore and that adore us. And staying here longer for sure, you're welcome to do that. One of the benefits of this virtual classroom, or you might begin to roll yourself over to your side and slowly making your way up to your seat. Just notice maybe how the body feels, space in the body, right? From maybe some of that stiffness, maybe there's a little bit more openness. And hopefully you practiced loving kindness to yourself, not judgment. And just today, place your hands onto that heart space, palms down. And just feel, if you can, that connection to love and light that is within us. Sometimes it's hidden, right? Or we hide it. Just know that it's always there. Through good, through bad, through darkness. There is always that light. Bring the palms to your heart space. Take a nice inhale as you lift your head. Exhale, sigh out through the mouth. As we take on this day, coming together for Om. As we bow to the light that lives within me, within you. Namaste. Thank you so much, dear yogis. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know, check in, and thank you so much for showing up for yourselves and then take your practice out into the world each day. We do our best.